Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now, we are very happy to be joined on Skype with our new friend, Erin Brockovich, who is in California. And Erin has joined us based in part on the reporting we did a couple weeks ago on the Martin County water crisis. Erin, thank you very much for taking the time.
Hey, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, let me start by this. You know, we did this report a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of blown up more than we would have ever imagined. How did the Martin County crisis sort of come to your attention?
The same way all these crises come to my attention. When a community is getting frustrated and mostly concerning around water, whether suddenly they turn on the tap and they've got black water, brown water, yellow water, green water, or they've got a boil water notice, or they're getting no water, they will email me what's going on. They'll send me photos, they'll send me information, they'll send what they do or don't know from the municipality, and from that point I get involved. So that's exactly how I've been involved here. Is the people of Martin County in and around that area have been sending me dirty water photos, what's going on, boil water notices, and here we are today.
I've been asked 1,000 times since this, what can we do to help? How do you answer that question for people in Martin County or those of us outside who see it and want to do something?
There's a lot of things. First of all, you're actually doing it. You're reporting on this and bringing greater awareness to it. The people are doing it, and this is exactly what we encourage them to do. You know, oftentimes we don't go down to our local water boards or our municipalities until there's a problem, or we don't attend local city council meetings until there's a problem. But there's a platform for the consumer, the people, to go to, and they're doing it. They are showing up, they are speaking out, they are putting pressures on the people who the pressure should be on. This is not a situation that just showed up yesterday. They've had long-term problems with this water company that they haven't been addressing for a very long time. So one of the first things people can do is get proactive, get involved, speak up, and go to these city council meetings. Light up your phone, call that municipality, you being involved, other news agencies. So you're actually in the process of doing something to make a difference. And here I am today. Bob is going to come down on his time to work with that municipality to point out what the problems are, what the treatability should be. We know there's a feasibility issue with them at close to $1 million. So everyone's going, we don't have the budget. We've misappropriated our funds. Now we have a water disaster with the failing infrastructure. So Bob's going to come down. I've worked with Bob Bocock for a long time, and he is just, what he understands about water is amazing. And water is complex. You can't just switch river waters. You can't just add chemicals, take away chemicals, and think that your water is going to be fine, because it reacts. He knows things about the bacteria, what they're adding, what they're not adding, what they should be doing, how they could do it cost effectively across this country. And oftentimes municipalities don't want to ask for help. I don't know if it's an ego thing or if it's a political thing, but there is help there, and there's always room for them to learn. And this is an interesting conversation. Bob is what's known as a level 5 water operator. And I don't know that throughout the U.S. we have the experienced water operators at hand to understand what's going on when their trihalomethanes are exceeded, when their infrastructure is failing, and the complexity of the chemicals that they're using and what they can do to create a water disaster, or what they can do to divert one. When you're in a situation like this, you should welcome the help. And so Bob is going to come down there and do what he can do. And if they'll listen, we might be able to figure out some solutions, because we want the people to have safe drinking water. Secondly, until that time, there's fundraising that we can do through an awareness campaign. You, other media, whether it be Red Cross, other agencies, foundations, donating water to this community and those people that don't have it until we can get it to them. So these are a couple of things that we can do to help them, but they need to keep together and active and proactive and showing up and putting that pressure on your leaders to fix this problem. And for heaven's sakes, do the right thing. I'm sorry. This is the United States of America, 2018. And we have residents in your county who aren't even getting water for, 18 days plus, who are being delivered tainted water. You have no pressure, an infrastructure that's failing, sludge building up. You're going to create a bacterial problem or viral problem that could be a huge community outbreak. Somebody needs to get down there, and somebody down there needs to start doing their job, make this a priority, and get down to business here, fix this system, and get your people clean, safe water.
Well, first of all, let me say on a couple of those points, thanks to a lot of the folks watching this show, they raised almost $40,000 for donations of water through God's Pantry in Kentucky, which helped a lot during the emergency situation a few weeks ago. And a couple of the local officials have agreed to work with Bob and others. So there is some optimism there.
Yes.
Let me say thank you very much for your awareness and help in this. It has become something, I talk to the folks in Martin County a lot now about it, and they feel for the first time some optimism, and I really do appreciate it. And thank you for coming on here and joining us.
My biggest message to them is oftentimes we don't speak out in a situation like this because we think, well, if we're not managing the water, or we're not a politician or a doctor or scientist, there's nothing we can do. Nothing could be further from the truth. And this is the biggest message to this community, which they've exhibited. And that is banding together and standing strong and speaking up and speaking out and fighting for their right to have water. So I'm very proud of them, and I'm happy that anything that we can do to assist them in solving their problem, we're happy to be here. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Erin Brockovich.